Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Principal Ma'am and VC Sir. With the permission of both the dignitaries, I'm going to join the session. May I, Sir and Ma'am?
Please, please. Go ahead.
Good afternoon,
please.
everybody. Yes, Kiran, I have started already. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, you are audible. Please go ahead. Good afternoon from our side too.
Good afternoon, everybody. I, Dr. Varsha Saraswat, Head Department of Education, Anand Vihar College for Women, and coordinator of this international webinar, convey my deep regards and sincere gratitude to everyone gathers online to explore new avenues for strengthening higher education scenario under the head of paradigm shift in pedagogical implication in higher education institution. Now, this is the time for the release of e-souvenir. I'm requesting Dr. Petia, VC, RNTU, and Principal Ma'am, Anand Vihar College for Women to release the e-souvenir. Sir, please, and Ma'am, please, release the e-souvenir.
Okay.
I'm requesting to Dr. Petia and Dr. Mishra Ma'am to release this e-souvenir.
I did it.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm waiting for the ma'am also. I'm waiting for the principal ma'am to share the screen. Ma'am is there? I'm requesting to both the dignitaries to share the e-souvenir. I'm requesting to both the dignitaries to share the e-souvenir.
Is it visible, Varsha madam?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So our e-souvenir. So our e-souvenir has been released. I would like to mention that Anand Vihar College for Women and the Rabindranath Tagore University both have collaborated together with an MOU to conduct educational program for the upliftment of the society. And this is really an enchantment for us that today we are going to conduct an international webinar with success, and we have released our e-souvenir. Now I just want to continue the program. To pursue on the path of augmentation of the international webinar, I venerate Goddess Saraswati and seeking shower of her blessings for triumph of success of the program. I would like to anticipate my enshrined regards to admire auspicious presence of Dr. Brahma Prakash Petia, Honorable Vice Chancellor RNTU, versatile academician and leading educationalist, Dr. Mrs. Madhu Mishra, Principal Anand Vihar College for Women, Bhopal. Internationally acclaimed academician, keen researcher, teacher, Dr. Khadir Al-Qadar, Associate Professor in Cultural Study, MSc University, Egypt. A holistic personality, divine human being, sterling academician, ardent administrator, and above all, a sincere researcher who truly works for the pedagogical implication in higher education institution, Dr. Parshuram Thakar, Dean Academics and Director, School of Education, Sabarmati University, Ahmedabad. Welcoming to all of you wholeheartedly. I also convey my warm regards to Dr. Rekha Gupta, Dean and Principal Education, RNTU, Dr. Sangeeta Johri, Dean, Faculty of Humanities and Language, along with IQAC, Dr. Deepthi Maheshwari, Dean, Faculty of Commerce, RNTU, and last but not least, I would like to admire tireless style of an effervescent psychologist and keen researcher, Dr. Kiran Mishra, Head Education, RNTU, whose constant efforts shaped this international webinar in a triumph of success. Thanks to all of you. Motivational words of our seniors enlighten our path of success. But I also like to mention that my words are unable to reckon the great and divine personality of Dr. Brahma Prakash Petia, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Rabindranath Tagore University. He earned a reputation as an earnest academician with excellent career as an administrator and immense position in corporate sector. He imparted his excellence of work at international level also. He believed in liberalization of education. I would like to call him to say few words by quoting W.B. Yeats. Education is not the filling of a pot, but the lighting of a fire. I'm requesting Dr. Petia, Vice Chancellor, RNTU, to say few words to our all the participants and the dignitaries who joined the event. Dr. Petia.
Good morning, Dr. Varsha. Can you
Good
hear me
morning.
now? Good morning.
Thank you, madam.
Okay.
Okay, good morning, Dr. Varsha. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Dr. Ghade Al Qadar, you are audible. Please wait.
Okay.
Yeah, please
I
wait,
had a
ma'am.
problem joining. I had a problem joining the meeting because I
Doesn't-
used the attendees link instead of the presenters link. So thank you for
Doesn't matter, ma'am. Doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yes.
matter, ma'am. The program has been started. Please, Dr. Petia is going to address the function. Please, ma'am. Wait for
It's
a while.
fine. I just wanted to say hi. I wanted to thank you and
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Please wait. Dr. Petia is going to
Dr.
do
Roshan.
the event.
You are welcome,
thought you
madam.
would
You are
go on
welcome.
with your thing. So thank you for allowing me the chance to attend, and thank you for hosting my presentation whenever you like. So thank
Can
you
I
for
start?
doing the conference. It was just a tech problem, and I just had the link now.
Kiran ma'am, please mute her. Kiran ma'am, please.
Would you
I
like
think
me to
it is.
start the presentation or
I
is it
think we
canceled?
should go with the few words of Dr. Petia. Preeti sir,
Okay,
please.
so should I leave the meeting now? I just want to know what to do. So should I be leaving the meeting now? Thank you
Can I
so much.
start? Still I have to wait.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Preeti,
Thank you, madam.
Preeti sir,
Yeah,
please
please.
start. Please, sir,
Ah,
please start.
Thank you, Dr. Versa, for inviting me to say a
Thank you.
few words. Dr. Madhu Misra ji, Principal, Anand Vihar College for Women, Bhopal. Dr. Dhade Sir ji, Session Chair from the MSA University, Egypt. Dr. Parsuram ji Dhakat, the Session Co-Chair from the School of Education, Sabarmati University, Rajasthan. Dr. Deepti Maheshwari, Dr. Sangeeta ji, and all other most active faculty members from both the institutions who were behind the screen working for a number of hours to happen this international conference organized. We understand the problems of connectivity and so many other follow-up with the participants. And most important than the participants, because without you, we cannot have these kind of international convention or seminars. My faculty colleagues from both the institutions and dear students, as ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to welcome the galaxy of experts and the participants from the different corners of not only the country, from abroad too, which also includes the experts of the second session too, namely Dr. Morve Roshan from the Bangor University, Wales, United Kingdom, Dr. Neha Rawatji from the Nagaland University, Kohima, Dr. Sangeeta Johri, Dean, and the speakers for the next session, and the number of speakers from our own country and abroad, including the silent listeners to this important 2 days international conference on paradigm shift in a pedagogical implementation in higher education institutions, which is very relevant as I see it when we look back from today's point of view. Had been discussing about a year back, we wouldn't have felt the relevance of this topic. But in today's scenario, when we have experience of about 10 months of facing these kind of problems and the solutions through this pedagogical implementation, which is a sandwich of two things. So this is very important That's why I congratulate the Faculty of Education, Faculty of Commerce, and IQAC of Rabindranath Tagore University, Bhopal, and also the Department of Education of Anand Bihar College of Women, Bhopal, who are organizing jointly this very important international web conference. This has now become a very important topic because the rapid advancement of information and communication technology during the last few years have created both. One side we have challenges, on the other side we are using it during the pandemic situation, which all of us are aware. I don't have to go in more details. And also it provided the opportunities to continue the present online academic delivery mode effectively and efficiently as an alternative to face-to-face classroom situation, which has become non-coexistence for the last 11 months. Means last 11 months we have been doing on the online teaching as such. And maybe in the sometimes it may be relevant in the mixed mode. There were challenges initially because there's a new technology with respect to the internet connectivity in the highly remote areas, because some of the students, they come from the rural areas, they do not have that kind of connectivity. But over the period of time, this connectivity problem has been taken care of. There are a lot of other technical hitches in the beginning that has also been taken care of. And now, after having experience of about 8, 9, 10 months, it has been going very well. Now we would like to encash this experience for future. Whatever the efficiency and effectiveness we have learned over the past will certainly be useful for future delivery of the academics. So let us see what are our positive experiences of online delivery. Through the list of this, not exhaustive, but we can further add on to it. Certain points which comes to my mind is it is a convenience. It was very convenient when we go for the online teaching vis-a-vis the face-to-face. It offers a lot of flexibility to us, and it basically brought the education right at the door of our students who are even in a remote places. Not only in India, we have the international students from the different countries, and we have reached to the door of their homes in the abroad also, at number of other countries too. So it provides the education, it has gone to their home as such, whether it is national students or international students. And it offers the more individual attention, because somebody comes on a screen or individually, not as a group. But in the classroom face to face, we have 60 or 70 students. So when we go for a online, it gives the more individual attention when we try to listen to their point of view. And we sometimes meet very interesting people who were otherwise, because of the physical barriers, it was not possible. Now we can meet anybody in on the earth, whichever the corner of the earth they are there. So this gives you a really world level skills, because physical accessibility is not a problem through these online courses. It is only we have to locate the resources on any corner of the world, and we can access those kind of resources as such. So it has given a real world skills. Then this has a financial benefits in the sense that with a less input cost, we have reach out has increased. So when we work out the cost per unit of the student, it has gone down substantially as such, for basically for both the receivers as well as for the people who are delivering it. Now it teaches you to the self-discipline. Now when we talk about the self-discipline on both the sides, as a giver teacher, we have, and also the receiver as a student, because they are on video. So once if they have not switched off the video, we can see how disciplined, how they have dressed it, etc. What are their emotions, their physical actions. So everything we can read it out on the face. So that's why this teaches us to be more disciplined. And as I said it, this converts the entire education room into a global village. And this global village is connectivity to the entire thing on the world. So this is what I call it. Our classroom has been converted as a global classroom, where accessibility has gone to the every corner. So, And we are living in an ever-changing world that is ripe with the new possibilities in future too. This is not the end, which we are talking today. We will get some more opportunities and we have to be ready for more changes for it. So we have to be dynamic. We cannot be static, the situation which have been provided today as such. But we do not know what kind of technology is going to come tomorrow or what kind of the problems is going to come tomorrow. So we should not be satisfied with this blending teaching experience right now. We have this stage, but we have to be ready for us to face the challenges in future too. But this I have seen the one side of the coin, but the coin has both the sides, head and tail. This is not a coin of a movie in which you have both the sides head. So we let us see the other side, which is basically, I talk about the disadvantages to us. Something this requires more time than the on-campus, because the preparation for the online classes requires more time of the faculty, because in the face-to-face you discuss once and this is over, but online continues it. So you have to prepare more efficiently and effectively for the online classes as such. So I can understand the problems of the faculty which has faced during this problem. And it is make easier to avoid or postpone, because in face-to-face you have to take the class, but here you have n number of regions to postpone, mainly the technical things, maybe and the medical things, and so it make it easier for the faculty to postpone if they want to postpone it, which was not available in face-to-face. It requires a good management time skill, because you have an 40 minutes or 50 minutes and we have to complete the entire deliverable material in that particular time. So it requires a good time management skill. When we talk about face-to-face, sometimes we can spoil over it, we can extend the period, which is not possible in case of online. So time management becomes very important skill which is required. So you can take it as advantage, you can take it as disadvantage. It makes, sometimes I feel, Varsa madam, Dr. Varsa, your voice is coming. Dr. Varsa Saraswati, it is disturbing me.
Yes, yes.
Please unmute your this thing. It is disturbing me.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
So I was talking to you. This may create sometimes when we are as a student, I am alone on the screen. There are certain society. So basically, it gives me a feeling of isolation. I'm missing my society. I'm missing my students physically. I can see only on the screen. So this is not a basically a emotional touch with my own friends, my own group members. So sometimes whenever I go for this online discussions as such, it creates a sense of isolation. I'm alone. Physically, it is on the screen, we are with the group. So psychologically, we have to see is sometimes in the corner of my mind, it gives you a sense of isolation. Then it allows sometimes more time to be independent. It requires you to be an active learner, because here, if you are a passive learner, you will not receive anything, and there's nobody to motivate you to have the convert yourself as an active learner as such. So it requires active learners, and in case you have some passive learners, you cannot make them active. But in the physical classroom, if somebody is not concentrating on your lecture, the teacher generally asks them, you okay, concentrate, look at me, and some kind of these things. So that is not possible for here to convert the non-active member or to an active learner as such. Then sometimes we do not have the instructor found to stay on the task, that I'll talk later. But we have there are more freedom, perhaps more than we can handle it. So that freedom is also has to be a limited freedom even to the teachers and to the student. But here we have more. Rupinder madam, please, can you unmute your mic, please? Madam Rupinder Kaurji, can you unmute your mic? Okay. So,
Hanji sir, yes sir.
Please unmute, please. So I was talking about we have this more freedom that we can handle it as such. like what we are seeing today. Anybody can unmute themselves and then it is a disturbance on the lecture of the teacher as such. So basically these more freedom to the audience and to the delivers, that sometimes creates some kind of disturbances when we deliver the lectures. But face to face, the teacher can control these kind of disturbances as such. So we have both. We have certain advantages, I explained, but at the same time, we have certain disadvantages too. So it seems the challenge which is given by this COVID-19, which we are going to convert into the opportunities that depends upon our skill. These opportunities which has been given by the pandemic are they opportunities to us? Are they problems to us? Are we able to inculcate the culture among the students to behave properly in case of these classes as such? Because in classes we can physically control, but when the students are away in the Africa or some other countries and the time zones are different, how to control those students as such? So that certain problems are always be there when we talk about the online, how to control, how to make them disciplined as such. So these challenges will always be there. So why I'm saying this blended mode is a better option for that, and why I'm talking about it, because certain things which I talked to you about, the emotions, effective delivery, and many human aspects particularly are more possible in face-to-face only, because we can see the students, we can see their reaction on the face, they are happy or they are not happy. If they have certain problem, they can share with us face-to-face. So basically it's an emotional connect between us and the students. But when we talk about, like I am talking to you, we do not have any emotional connect. It's just a mechanical thing. You are seeing me, I am seeing you, that's all. So that it is one side, it is reachability is maximum, but it's missing the connect with the emotional connect, what we call it as such. So sometimes obstacle related to the physical participation, overcoming all the problems, obstructions has to be overcome. There may be a physical obstructions which may be related to technology, and there are obstructions which is created by the human beings, by the students. So that how to overcome these are going to remain the challenges. The physical presence can be overcome very easily, but in online classes, it becomes difficult as such. So therefore, it appears to me that blended approach will give us both improved efficiency on one side, which I am talking mechanical efficiency on the one side and the online mode, and also the effectiveness, which basically talks about the psychological movements, the touch with the things. So we have both in the blended, we can have efficiency on one side and the effectiveness on the other side. So once again, I want to congratulate the organizing team for conceiving such an important topic and all the participants to be a part of such a very useful webinar, which is going to learn them a lot of takeaways. All the participants, whether they are teachers or whether they are students, this seminar is going to give them lot of takeaways, lot of learnings. At the end of tomorrow evening, when they go up, they will have lot of learnings from this thing. So I wish a great success to the proposed time relevant webinar with the best wishes. Thank you very much for a patience listening. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
a lot for your enlightened words. Thank you, sir. Now I'm pursuing how the things are collaborated to make the sign of success with integrity and devotion is the working theology of Dr. Madhu Mishra, Principal Anand Vihar College for Women. She is a leader, she is a motivator, she is a guiding star, and above all, she is a teacher who is very keen to augment innovations in higher education implications. Her effervescent presence, desperate zeal to perform the task in the key factor of the every success of Anand Vihar College for Women. I would like to reckon her personality in the words of Henry Adams, a teacher of its eternity. He can nail still where his influence stops. Madam, I'm requesting you to say few words. Dr. Mrs. Madhu Mishra, Principal Anand Vihar College for Women, is there to share her welcome address with all of us. Madam, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is a matter of immense pleasure that Anand Vihar College for Women is organizing an international webinar on pedagogical implications in higher education institutions in collaboration with our MOU partner Rabindranath Tagore University. I convey warm welcome to everyone joined the webinar, along with Dr. Pethia, VC, Rabindranath Tagore University, our expert, Dr. Ghade, and Dr. Dhakar. I hope this webinar will be a milestone to reorient pedagogical implications. Many disciplines and fields are now multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and cross-disciplinary. There are varying degrees of overlap between the different domains, disciplines, and fields, and any analysis should therefore consider the different levels and types of knowledge and their intersections. For instance, the field of education, medicine, engineering, business, and technology cut across several disciplines from the different domains. Furthermore, each domain has its own epistemological, ontological, and axiological focus of study and perspective of the world, and each domain makes its own unique contribution to the world. Thus, a paradigm is ultimately a worldview, that is, a mode of inquiry, a particular way of understanding and interacting with the world that guides the thinking and practices of individuals and groups. As such, the prevailing worldview often reflects the predominant paradigm. Indeed, many of the problems and issues facing humanity today are so large and complex and global in scope. They require a diverse team of experts that can apply a multi-perspective view that uses knowledge and skills from different domains, disciplines, and fields. From the Vedic times to the present, learning has been taking place in a single mode with the physical proximity of teacher and student. A change of this ecosystem was paramount. After so many millennia, this mode of dissemination of knowledge needed to innovate with changing span of time. We hope that a new dawn is waiting for us. All the best to all of you for the webinar of today. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. Due to some you can say inconvenience, I was not able to share the screen from my mobile, so I just joined the program with another device. I really admire extraordinary support of Dr. Khade Al-Qadar, who associated with number of events to enhance research work to reorient higher education scenario. She has been imparting her best to enthuse cultural collaboration between the countries. She won the Best PhD award in Cairo University. She used to work on different perspectives of art, life, media, and education. She always has a strong supporting hand to novel researchers. Wherever I realize her personality, then I remember the words of Khalil Gibran. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. I would like to invite you with a few words on the topic. Dr. Khade Al Qadir. Dr. Khade Al Qadir. Hello, Dr. Khade Al Qadir. I think she is not here, so I would like to call upon our next expert, Dr. Parshuram Dhakar, a renowned academician, ardent administrator, effervescent researcher, collaborative educationalist who has been anticipating on the path of research and innovation with drastic zeal is Dr. Parshuram Dhakar, Dean Academics and Director, School of Education, Sabarmati University, Ahmedabad. He has been associated with number of university to fervent research activities. He enshrines path of young researchers to guide them and enable them for research and innovation. He published number of books also. He is the most suitable admirer of education. As John Dewey has narrated, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. With these words, I would like to invite Dr. Parshuram Thakar to throw light on the topic. Dr. Thakar.
Good afternoon, all of you. जैसा कि आज रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर यूनिवर्सिटी भोपाल एंड फैकल्टी डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एजुकेशन आनंद विहार कॉलेज दोनों के कोलैबोरेशन में पैराडाइज्म शिफ्ट इन पेडागोजिकल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इन हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस, इसके ऊपर 2 दिवसीय सेमिनार का आयोजन किया जा रहा है, जिसमें मुझे सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट के रूप में इनवाइट किया गया। इसके लिए मैं इन दोनों संस्थाओं के लिए हार्दिक आभारी हूँ। मैं अपने कुछ विचार अपने पीपीटी के माध्यम से रखूंगा, जिसका टॉपिक रहेगा करिकुलम लर्नर्स सेंटर पेडागोजी लर्निंग आउटकम्स एंड इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन। तो आई शेयर माय पावर पॉइंट। Overview of the modules. The purpose of the modules is to help teachers and teacher educators in the classroom adopt pedagogy.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, your PPT is not visible actually. Presentation.
Okay.
Kindly share it so that we
Yes,
can
ma'am. Yes.
maximum benefits.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Sorry, एक मिनट थोड़ा सा।
Please.
हेलो, क्या सुन पा रहे हो मैम?
हाँ सर, आप विजिबल है
Okay,
आप वो स्लाइड शो स्टार्ट कर दीजिएगा। स्लाइड शो।
Yes, ma'am.
ओके थैंक यू सर। थैंक यू
Okay,
सर।
ma'am. हाँ। Overview of the module. The purpose of the module is to help teacher and teacher educators relook at the diversity existing in the classrooms, adopt pedagogies that are most suitable to make classroom and teaching learning inclusive. The suggestions given in the module are learning objective of modules. This educational policies, the national curriculum framework development, and the functions and the linkages among intended, transacted, and assessed curriculum. Explain perspective of the National Curriculum Framework NCF 2005 and its translation into syllabi and textbook. Develop a richer understanding of diversity and acquire the attitude for promoting inclusive education. Strengthen existing skill to improve children and learning outcome using appropriate pedagogies. Use and adopt learning activities that foster gender sensitive अनपैकिंग टर्मिनोलॉजीज पॉलिसीज एंड फ्रेमवर्क मैंने इस ग्राफ के माध्यम से आपको समझाना चाहता हूं कि नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 आया है, उसमें इन सभी को जो पहले से लागू थे उन सबको इसमें इंक्लूड किया गया है, जैसे नेशनल करिकुलम फ्रेमवर्क, सिलेबी, लर्निंग आउटकम्स, नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी। अभी जो 2020 है, इससे पहले भी कई पॉलिसीज हमारे देश में आ चुकी हैं, जैसे नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 1968, 1986, पीओए 1992, स्कीम चली हुई है। फ्रेमवर्क 1975, 1988, 2000 and 2005. Curriculum, nature of learning, knowledge of human development, providing by accepted theories and societic influence. Syllabus, themes and questions, objectives, suggested activities, resources and notes for teachers. इसके बाद आता है टेक्स्ट बुक। टेक्स्ट बुक में इंटरैक्टिव एक्टिविटीज बेस्ड सोशल कंसर्न, जेंडर इंक्लूजन एसेट्रा, इन बुल्ट एवेल्यूएशन, इंटीग्रेट आर्ट्स, हेल्थ एंड फिजिकल एजुकेशंस। नेक्स्ट, टीचर सपोर्ट मटेरियल। टीचर सपोर्ट प्रोसेस बेस्ड social qualities. It also includes pedagogy that teachers need to let's ponder. What do these terms mean to us? Curricular expectation, learning objectives, pedagogical process, learning outcomes. How are these terms linked to each other? Toward learning outcomes, curricular expectation, discipline specific or grade specific, learning objective, content based and used to bring out curricular expectations, and each content area will have specific learning objectives. Pedagogical process, help achieve learning as per objectives. Next, involve creating and learning environment and express using various learning resources to provide different learning experiences. Learning outcomes, not content specific, can be used to learner in any context toward achieving learning outcomes. Learner have to be provided with opportunities. First, to work in peer, group, individually, to observe and explore the immediate surrounding, record and express them in oral, written, elder and visit different places. इसके बाद डाइवर्सिटी इन क्लासरूम necessitates changing the system to fit the need of all children in regular schools. जैसा कि ये ग्राफ आपको ये पिक्चर दिखाती है कि इन रेगुलर स्कूल्स हैं, इसमें बच्चे अदर चिल्ड्रन के साथ किस प्रकार से मिक्सअप हो जाते हैं. और सेकंड है इन स्पेशल स्कूल. इन स्पेशल स्कूल में थोड़े उनमें आपस में दूरियां होती हैं और वो दूसरों से मिक्सअप नहीं हो पाते. तीसरा है नॉट एक्सेस टू स्कूल. तो इसमें चिल्ड्रन फॉर्म डिसएडवांटेज होम्स. स्कूल सेटिंग स्पेशल एजुकेशन. स्पेशल एजुकेशन को इसके स्क्वायर के माध्यम से शो किया गया है और नॉर्मल स्कूल को राउंड के माध्यम से. तो देखिए इसमें स्पेशल चाइल्ड, स्क्वायर पैक फॉर स्क्वायर होल्स, स्पेशल टीचर्स. नॉर्मल एजुकेशन, नॉर्मल चाइल्ड, राउंड पैक्स फॉर राउंड होल्स, नॉर्मल टीचर्स और नॉर्मल स्कूल्स. स्कूल सेटिंग इंटीग्रेटेड एजुकेशन. इंटीग्रेटेड एजुकेशन में change the child of fit system, make the square playground, therapy, rehabilitation. नॉर्मल स्कूल के अंदर सिस्टम सेज द सेम चाइल्ड मस्ट अडेप्ट और फेल. स्कूल सेटिंग इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन. इसमें सारा सिस्टम फ्लेक्सिबल होता है. इसमें फ्लेक्सिबल सिस्टम को अपनाया गया है. इसमें चेंज द सिस्टम टू फिट द चाइल्ड. चिल्ड्रन आर डिफरेंट. ऑल चिल्ड्रन कैन लर्न डिफरेंट activity, abilities, ethics, group, size, age, background, gender, etc. Inclusive education, legal, international and national commitment. Inclusive education means a system of education wherein students with and without disability learn together and the system of teaching and learning is suitably adapted to meet the learning need of different type of student with disabilities. इसका जिक्र सेक्शन 1M ऑफ RPWD एक्ट 2016 में किया गया है. इसके बाद लेट्स पॉन्डर. इसके बाद हमारे जो विचारणीय बिंदु हैं वो इस प्रकार से हैं. Have you tried to address diversity in your teaching? आप किस प्रकार से जो डाइवर्सिटी है उनको किस प्रकार से एड्रेस कर पाओगे? What kind of teaching skills, strategies, activities will you use to encourage equal participation of all learners in your classes? NCF 2005, Guiding Principle of NCF 2005. फर्स्ट है इसमें जो पहली पिक्चर दिखाती है कहती है कनेक्टिंग नॉलेज टू लाइफ हम आउटसाइड स्कूल से किस प्रकार से इसको कनेक्ट कर पाते हैं अपनी नॉलेज को. सेकंड पिक्चर दिखाती है इनकरेजिंग द लर्निंग इज शिफ्टेड अवे फ्रॉम rather than remain textbook centric. फोर्थ पिक्चर है making examination more flexible and integrated into classroom life. लास्ट पिक्चर दिखाती है nurturing and overriding identify informed by curing concern within the domestic policy of the country. The role of teacher in accepting and addressing diversity. The role of teacher in achieving learning outcomes in diversity. First, sensitive for identifying differences in the learner and appreciating them. Second, sensitize peer about strength and weakness of children with disabilities. accepting socio-cultural and physical variation among learners, modifying the curriculum and learning environment to suit individual needs, ability to mobilize resources to provide options to the learner, use of technology to support learning, ensure participation in the learning process and avoid comparing children, support and facilitate the use of mobility aids, wheelchair, crutches, white cane, hearing aid, optical or non-optical aid, educational aid, tailored frame, abacus, etc., providing additional time and selecting suitable modes of assessment, unlearning of genders and stereotypical attitude, promote respect for the roles that all gender play in the families, communities, and the nation at large. Give more time to some learners. Reading Braille text involve memorizing and synthesizing at all of phrases, sentence as possible. Provide need-based support. Understand. Sorry. Understanding word within multiple meaning. Now vocabulary, discriminating between word, figurative language, idioms, metaphors, similes, etc. Provide support for overcoming difficulties of access, simplification of the language, tactile material, teaching aids for geometry, space to make calculator, will solving sum. Strategies for assessment in inclusive environment. Assessment occur throughout the teaching of lesson. Strategies for assessment in inclusive environment may include, in a mixed ability group, encourage varied responses for a question, give clear message, pursue after asking a question, give adequate time to respond, activities done for explaining the content can be used in the assessment, allow flexibility in choosing answer, recognition and identification rather than recall, coloring then correct answer, cut and paste, matching point the requiring auditory processing, accept response in monosyllables, allow student with speech processing delays to demonstrate learning by use of pictures or use flashcard, word card, and pictures, real object to get response or written response. Active checking answer can be done with the help of real objectives. Let's ponder. Have you tried to add diversity in your teaching? What kind of teaching skill, strategy, activity will you use to encourage equal participation of all learners in classes? With any prescribed identities, become aware of linguistic assumptions, know your linguistic background, get to know student linguistic backgrounds, create classroom flexibility accommodating multiple and diverse language usage, where where there is more than one language used in any area, use of the preferred majority languages. Discussion point: divide into small group. Each group has to discuss the following usage. How will you make your school more inclusive? how communities to
I think some network issue is there. That's why Dr. Parshuram Thakur's voice is not audible. I think he will be here within seconds. I think some network issues there. I think some due to some network issue,
no
Dr.
problem,
Thakur is not continuing. Yes, he is with us now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Ji, sir. Sir, your present.
Yes, ma'am. Hi. Yes, ma'am. 1 minute. Inclusive beyond education. What are audio describe films? Audio describe या video description. Translate visual information and non-dialogue portion of film into spoken word. Allows all viewers, including those with visual challenging, to access, enjoy, and learn from work of popular cultural and educational importance.
Please, everybody mute your mics. Please, everybody. Everybody, please mute your mics. Lot of disturbance there, please.
Attempt use inclusive strategies and accept every child as a member belonging to the group. Adopt attitudes and skill needed to work effectively with students from diverse group. Restructure the classroom physically and attitudinally to provide Thanks, madam. Basa, madam.
Ji, sir.
Next.
Thank you. Ji, sir. Thank you, sir.
ma'am.
Thank you so much for your presentation. And we are highly obliged that you have accepted our invitation and enlightened our students for your word of wisdom. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now,
Thank
with the
you.
permission of VC sir, Dr. Petia, and my principal madam, Dr. Mrs. Mathu Mishra, I would like to hand it over the mic to Dr. Shannu Pathan. Dr. Shannu Pathan will continue the presentation part of our technical session. I would like to invite Dr. Shannu Pathan to continue the session.
Thank you so much, Parshuram ma'am.
Welcome, welcome.
Very good afternoon to everyone. I, Dr. Shannu Pathan, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Anand Vihar College for Women, welcome you all for the participants of presentation of the participants. Before that, I would like to pay my gratitude to Dr. Gare ma'am, but unfortunately she couldn't join with us. Session chair and Purushottam Thakur sir, subject expert, we are highly privileged have two eminent speakers from the field of education amongst us. Thank you very much, sir, for your knowledgeable session. I, Dr. Shannu Pathan, on behalf of Anand Vihar College for Women and our MOU partner, Rabindranath Tagore University, welcome our session chair, Dr. Gare ma'am, and Dr. Parshuram Thakur, subject expert, Dean,
Yes.
and Dean Academic and Director, School of Education, Sabarmati University, Ahmedabad. Last but not the least, I welcome all the participants to virtual platform It is a kind request to all the participants to please mute themselves and keep video off. And to kind request to all the presenters to brief their presentation and sum up in 5 minutes. Now, with the permission of our chair session and subject expert, I
Yes, ma'am.
would like
Allow.
to
Yes.
start
Yes.
the session. Thank you, sir. Now I request to our presenters be ready. Our first presenter is Jayant Basu. The title of research paper of Jayant Basu is Barriers to Inclusive Education for Children with Special Need in Primary School of North 24 Pargana District, West Bengal. Jayant Basu, please start your presentation.
Am I audible, ma'am? Jayanto Basu.
Yes. Yes.
You are audible.
Can I share my screen?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today my topic is barrier to inclusive education for children with special need in primary schools of North 24 Parganas District, West Bengal. Introduction. What is inclusive education? It is a new approach towards educating the children with disability and learning difficulties with that of normal ones with the same roof. It seeks to address the learning needs of all children with a specific focus on those who are vulnerable to marginalization and exclusion. Significance of my study. Archaeological evidence is reported that before colonization of India, when there was the existence of Gurukul system, a symbol of inclusion in the form of adopted toys made accessible for children with disabilities was followed. This system was sensitive to the distinguished cultural, social, economic needs of the students and their families, believing in the education and training of life skills after recognizing the potential within each student. Objectives of my study: to find out the barriers to inclusive education for children with special needs in primary schools of North 24 Parganas District, West Bengal. To recommend strategy for institution or policy makers related to inclusion of focused group children to the school. Delimitation. The present study is delimited to the students of primary schools of North 24 Parganas District, West Bengal. Methodology. The present work is carried out of 54 different schools by using convenience sampling technique. Prior to the data collection, verbal consent was sought from the concerned head of the school seeking permission for data collection. The study focuses on the physical infrastructure, environmental and diagnostic barriers existing for CWSN in the selected schools. After collection and analysis of the data, various barriers creating obstacle in the path of CWSN were assessed. Sample. I have already said 54 primary schools of North 24 district has been taken for this survey. What is disability? Disability is the condition of difficulty in carrying out daily activities morally and in taking part in social life due to problems in parts of body and physical system, as well as obstacle created by physical, social, cultural environment and by communication. According to the nature and problem and the difficulty of the parts of the body in physical system, disability has been classified into 7 categories. Physical disability, hearing, vision, deaf, blind, disability related voice and speech, mental disability, and multiple disabilities. Different acts and programs has been taken by the government of India. So some of them I have been trying to show. The first is the Person with Disabilities Act 1995 is the most important piece of legislation enacted by the Parliament in the history of disability movement in India. Provision under Chapter 5 of PWD Act ensured that every child with a disability has access to free education in an appropriate and inclusive environment till the attainment of age of 18 years. Second, National Trust Act 1999. Objectives of this Act to strengthen facilities to provide support to persons with disability. Number 2, to facilitate the realization of equal opportunities, protection of rights, and full participation of persons with disability. UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. This convention sets out the human rights of persons with disabilities and the obligation on states to promote, protect, ensure those rights as well as the mechanism to support implementation and monitoring. Sharvashiksha Abhijan, the objective of SSA, universalization of education. These three important aspects of enrollment and retention of all children in 6 to 14 years of age. Further amendments have given a new thrust to the education of children with special needs, as without their inclusion, the objectives of UE cannot be achieved. Integrated education for disabled children. It means classes for children with disabilities that are located in the mainstream schools, but in a separate classroom amongst the other disabled learners and with a dedicated teacher. These children have little or no contact with their non-disabled peers. Observation of my study. Numerous natural and man-made barriers are found to pose physical threat difficulty in approaching the sampled school, such as some of the schools are located on the roadside and different vehicles pass through these roads, which poses great threat, danger to the lives of the students accessing the schools. Attitudinal barriers, lack of awareness and illiteracy among parents regarding the importance of education for the children are seen to be the major constraint. In rural area, these barriers are very prominent. Facility of ramp in the school. Through this table, it has been found that 72.22% schools, they have shown that ramp is not available. So it is for the difficult condition for the CWSA to access that school. Arrangement of proper lighting in the classroom. Proper lighting is the most important physical condition for the students. Visual impairment students are not very bad, good for condition for the school. Only 22.22% schools have the shows the gloomy picture of the school's condition, classroom condition. Table 3, separate provision for boys and girls toilet. It is very dangerous as per the sanitization is concerned. Around 90.74% percentage, they have shown that there no separate boys and girls toilet is not available in the school. Existence playground in the school. 92.60% schools have playground, but it's for the CWSN students, they are not going to use that playground for their lack of activities. Diagnostic barriers. The number of CWSN is observed to irregular the school premises as observed during the course of the study. There exists good friendly interaction of peers of CWS in a classroom, but no active support was found among the peers to CWSN during the co-curricular activities or during recess. Teachers' behavior was found sometimes to be same as towards other, and at the times they ignore CWSN student. Teachers in this school does not receive any adequate special training for teaching the CWSN, as well as the individual educational plan was found to be missing in the curriculum framed by the school. There was non-availability of resource teacher for CWSN in the schools. With regard to the learning and mental disabilities, parents and community members, because of their ignorance and illiteracy, are not aware of the existence of such disability for the time. Recommendation of my study. Massive survey and household survey should be done with the help of NGOs, SSC teachers, social welfare departments, and many others, so as to raise the rate of enrollment of CWSN at schools. Counseling and guidance session for the students as well as parents need to be organized with the help of experts in the field. To organization of orientation program and specialized training programs or regular school teachers to acquaint them with the different disabilities, barriers-free environment, and their related special needs should be priority area. Infrastructure improvements for the sanitary condition in schools to include toilet in schools for children with special needs, friendly with the fitted commode, etc. Classroom apparatus should be designed keeping in mind the particular children in such corner sets with the lab steps, footsteps. A school should provide barriers-free transport system so that the children should come to go out safely them school. The paths from gate to playground and school building must be clear and leveled. Use of concrete objects as teaching learning material needs to be emphasized. For easy recognition, beginning and ending should be painted with bright colors. The classroom should be spacious so that it do not restrict the movement of child with physical disability. Teachers should be conscious about the positioning and placement of every child in the classroom with a special focus on CWSM. Limitation of the study. The present research work is carried only in North 24 Parganas district of West Bengal. The sample selected for the study was limited because of the time constraint. Only selected aspects of barrier are considered for the present work, so other aspects can be included in future research. Conclusion of my study. Children with various disabilities are often targets of prejudice and discriminatory behaviors. Many children with the disabilities have even been denied to the right to education as one of the most basic human rights in any democratic society. Children with disabilities, if happen to be in school, find it difficult to take part in the most of the indoor and outdoor activities due to either social, physical, infrastructure, or architectural limitation that may arise with their disability. The findings of the study are in line with already existing literature, which states that insufficient training of teachers, teaching learning material, inaccessible educational environment, which includes sanitary facilities, drinking water facility, lighting, unawareness among teachers as well as parents pose threat in the path of education of disabled children. Some of the reference I have trying to give. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Very
everybody
impressive.
for giving me the chance to present my paper.
Thank you so much. You have chosen a nice topic for presentation. Now
Thank-
I would like to invite
Thank
our
you, ma'am.
second
Thank you.
presenter.
Mohammad Tariq.
Now I would like to invite our second presenter, Mohammad Tariq.
Yes, ma'am.
Mohammad Tariq,
Yes, ma'am.
please start your PowerPoint presentation.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I show on screen, ma'am?
Yes.
Sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, I am not able to share on screen, ma'am. Can I, ma'am, can I read?
Yes, you can read, Mohammad Tariq. Yes, you can read.
Ma'am, sorry
good-
to
good.
interrupt. Just a suggestion is there. He can send his PPT to you, to the host, and there it can be shared one by one if that is possible with this platform.
Rupinder, if Mohammad Tariq is not convenient to share his screen, then he may continue according to his words. So better to continue him. Mohammad Tariq, please
Yes,
to
ma'am.
continue.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Mohammad Tariq, PhD Research Scholar, RNTU, Faculty of Education. Today, I am going to present a topic in today's international conference on paradigm shift in pedagogical implementation in higher education institutions. The topic is innovative approaches to reorient teaching of social sciences. My supervisor, ma'am, Dr. Kiran Mishra, HOD Faculty of Education, RNTU. Onward, when I started my MPhil, here is my abstract. The social sciences subject encompass diverse concerns of society and include a wide range of content drawn from the disciplines history, geography, political science, economics, and sociology. The main goal of teaching social studies is to teach students to become good citizens. We are living in a diverse society, one that requires knowledge of social studies to succeed. Therefore, social sciences, therefore, social sciences teaching needs to be revitalized towards helping the learner acquire knowledge and skills in an interactive environment. In order to make the process of learning participate, there is a need to shift from mere imparting of information to simulation, laboratory, inquiry project, dramatization, question and answer prep, lecture, problem solving, dramatizations, home assignments, and also debate and discussion. This approach to learning will keep both the learner and teacher alive to social realities. Moreover, in this section contains a variety of graphic organizers, cooperative learning ideas, tools, and resources for writing and presenting information and ideas for oral and visual activities. Keywords: social sciences, social studies, teaching, and teacher and learner. Here is my introduction. The social sciences curriculum over the past years has changed drastically both in content and methodology. It has often been noticed that there is an increasing gap between the promises made in the curriculum and what is happening at the level of the child's perception. Therefore, selection and organization of resources to enable students to develop a critical understanding of society is a challenging task. Teaching should be seen as an opportunity for teachers and students to learn together, thus developing a democratic culture within institutions. Here is innovative methods of teaching and learning, which I have including below. There are many useful teaching methods to support effective teaching in social science to keep children motivated and fully occupied. But there is no single method of teaching which fits all the learning institutions. Therefore, to make the learning of social sciences more enjoyable and effective, there is a need for innovations in teaching methods. Some of the methods which are very helpful capture the attention of the children are given as below. You can see activity-based learning method. Sorry, it's just not sharing, but in my PPT, you can see here learning activity-based learning. This method is based on doing some hands-on experiments and activities. The students become active learners rather than passive recipients of information. The children are provided the opportunity to explore by their own so that the learning becomes joyful and long-lasting. Here is another very useful method: local craft and museum. By visiting to museums, students may explore the local surroundings and observe the activities of artisan communities engaged in different crafts using local skills and materials. The visits provide them opportunities and common platform to interact, experiment, create, and perform according to their age, aptitude, and ability, and other a barrier-free environment with immense possibilities of information. Here is another very useful method: debate and discussion. You can see on my in my PPT. This method involves the use of small group of students, where each group will have a leader who initiates the discussion of the issue or subject matter. Students are more active than the teacher. When this method is used, every member of the group is given equal opportunity or chance of making contribution to any discussion. There is another very interesting dramatization method, which is very helpful to all the learners. This is one of the most effective methods of stimulating the students in what they learn. It is a natural way by which students express freely their understanding of the life around them. The method allows for a great deal of involvement and participation by the students physically, emotionally, and mentally. The students who are less active in academic work can also be engaged in this activity. This will provide them the opportunity to create a sense of belonging. Here is another method which is very helpful in according to today's scenario: computer-aided learning. In this method, specially designed software applications are used to learn to a subject This creates an environment where learning and assessment is fun and the opportunities to learn is equitable among the rural and urban children. The main objective of this program is to attract the children, retain them in the school, and to improve the quality of the education through animated multimedia-based educational content. Here is another method is social science lab. You can see here in my PPT, students are learning from social lab. Well-equipped social science lab not only helps in creating and maintaining a much-needed congenial atmosphere for effective learning, it provides a workroom for the students, teachers, because activities and the practical solution of problems characterize every unit or topic. The permanent display of important maps and globes, pictures and charts, and constant reference to them by teaching is sure to make the teaching of social studies effective, lively and interesting. Here is another very useful method, library. In library, effective teaching of social science is crucially linked to the efficient functioning of the school library and of teachers who are trained to use the resources that the library provides. It is the major resource center for learning activity. The library is therefore set aside to meet the appetite for learning and to feed the hunger for understanding. Students can be assigned to read some items in the library to broaden their understanding of what the teacher has taught in the classroom. Here is a summary and conclusion. So in conclusion, we can see there are many teaching methods and resources available to teach social science subject. There is the need to select appropriate methods to achieve the desired objective. The resources can be determined by what is available and relevant to the student's age, ability, and interest. I have discussed a few out of other methods available for use in the teaching of social sciences. The methods discussed are not exhaustive. It is also obvious that no single method of learning can adequately fit all learning situations. However, it should be noted that there is no best method of teaching social sciences, but combination of all other methods would definitely help in achieving the desired instructional objectives. Thank you. This is all about. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
सन्नो मैम आप म्यूट हो रहे हो.
Are you audible?
Yes.
क्या कह रहे हैं? Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your presentation was very marvelous. You
Thank you.
mentioned here various effective innovative methods of teaching which will be helpful for the social science subject for teacher educators. Thank you so much. Now let us attend towards the next presentation. Our third presenter is Shama Parveen. Shama Parveen,
Yes, ma'am.
please start your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. Very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Shama Parveen, research scholar of RN2 University. The topic which I have chosen for today's presentation is inclusive education and teaching competence. Inclusive education is a way or path to make our education disseminate in spite of any dysfunction within the people and to maintain fairness in the community. It emphasizes that children with exceptional requirement can be involved in universal educational system without any dissimilarity and disparity. Teaching competence is the potential to design, direct, and accelerate intercommunication in the classroom that is suitable and which meets the different requirements and capacities of students. With more skilled and trained educators, the inclusive education program will have an influential effect on the awareness of the society. Let's come to the introduction part. Inclusive education means full inclusion of children with diverse ability in all aspects of schooling that other children are able to access and enjoy. Inclusive education is defined as a learning environment that promotes the full personal, academic, and professional development of all learners, irrespective of race, class, color, gender, disability, sexual preference, learning style, and language. Inclusive education and teaching competence. Inclusive education is a worldwide movement aiming to create one education system that values all children to devise a classroom that welcome all children irrespective of disability, community background, sexuality, ethnic background, etc. Teaching competence is the ability to plan, control, and facilitate interaction in the classroom that is appropriate to the activity and which takes into account the different needs and abilities of learners. Teaching competence for inclusive education. Recall different sections related to education and rehabilitation of children of PWD Act 1995 and as when required. State the rationale for inclusion of different type of children in the school. Evaluate each student present level of functioning. Counts in special needs students while joining regular classroom and regular students for entry of a special needs child in their classroom. Seek out consultative relationship with support personnel. Design variety of alternative teaching strategies to compensate the deficient area of SEN children. Collect useful information and record it to evaluate students' progress. Develop a feedback that would furnish data on relevant issues related to special needs students, teachers, parents, and other persons. Benefits of inclusive education for children with disabilities. Interaction or friendship were commonly developed between children with disabilities and those without disabilities in inclusive setting. Inclusion assists in the development of general knowledge for children with disabilities. Learn to live together can be succeeded. Communication skill and social competence of children with diverse abilities are improved in inclusive setting. Disabled children being privileged with high levels of interaction with non-disabled children. Skills and competencies for inclusive education. The regular educators should inculcate the following skills and competencies in them to prepare them for inclusive education are as follows. Teaching basic skills, class management, professional consultation and communication, referral, individual teaching, interactional skills, orientation strategies for entry into mainstreaming, goal setting, adjusting curriculum, use of teaching strategies, promoting classroom climate, resources managing and evaluation and monitoring. Techniques for inclusive classroom. For the program of individualized education to succeed, the teacher needs to restart to a variety of techniques to help build up the inclusive classroom communities like the following, as mentioned below. Games designed to build community, involving students in solving problems, songs and books that teach community, openly dealing with individual look inclusive education resets with the school, which should believe that inclusive education is not just for students with disabilities, but for all students, educator, parents, families, and community members. Teachers have to play a very crucial role in the implementation of the educational policies. The teacher should have new conceptual thinking, the ability to recognize the personal and social significance of professional activities for children with disabilities, and to take responsibilities for the quality of the result form. Today, demanded specialists with not only deep knowledge and skills in the field of education, owing modern interactive teaching methods and education of children, but also personality, patience, and tolerance for people regardless of the physical and other features. Thank you.
Thank you, Shama Parveen, for selecting a nice topic and effective presentation. All the presenters had given tremendous impact on pedagogy shift in pedagogical implementation in higher education. Due to some technical glitch, Dr. Gade ma'am couldn't join us today, but she will join us tomorrow. Now, moving ahead the conference, I would like to request our subject expert, Dr. Parshuram Dhakar, to sum up with his concluding remark for technical session 1. Dr. Parshuram Dhakar, over to you.
Okay, ma'am. मोहम्मद तारिक एंड समा परवीन तीनों ने ही इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन और उसके जो एजुकेशन में डिफरेंट किस टाइप के स्कूल्स होने चाहिए, उनके लिए क्या क्या गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से एक्ट लाए गए, उनके ऊपर प्रकाश डाला और किस प्रकार के बच्चे होते हैं, क्या क्या कमियां हैं उन्होंने, जैसे रैंप है, लाइट है, जेंडर वाइज क्लासिफिकेशन है, उनकी फैसिलिटी प्रकाश डाला। तो इससे हमारे समाज को, हमारे जो लर्निंग अथॉरिटीज हैं उन सबके लिए महत्वपूर्ण होगा। इसलिए थैंक यू जयंत बसु, आपने काफ़ी अच्छा इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन के लिए प्रकाश डाला है। नेक्स्ट हमारे प्रेजेंटेटर थे मोहम्मद तारिक। इन्होंने भी इनोवेटिव टीचिंग इन सोशल साइंस के ऊपर अपना टीचिंग कर सकते हैं। इनोवेटिव टीचिंग का मतलब ये नहीं है केवल कि एक पावर पॉइंट से हमने या कंप्यूटर के माध्यम से उससे ही हमने टीचिंग करा दी तो वो इनोवेटिव हो गई। इनोवेटिव टीचिंग के लिए डिबेट, पैनल डिस्कशन, टीम टीचिंग, प्रोजेक्ट मेथड एटसेट्रा, ये सभी विधियों के माध्यम से, जिसमें ये सारी क्या होती है, एक्टिविटी बेस्ड टीचिंग होती है। इसमें जितना बच्चा एक्टिव रहेगा उतना ही वो अधिक सीख पाएगा। इसके ऊपर उन्होंने काफी प्रकाश डाला। और सोशल साइंस के अंदर क्या लैब और लैब के ऊपर भी प्रकाश डाला। उन्होंने बताया कि साइंस के लैंग्वेजेस साइंस, लैंग्वेज लैब, इनके ऊपर तो सभी कोई फोकस करते हैं, लेकिन सोशल साइंस का जो क्राइटेरिया है वो सबसे लेकुना है इसके अंदर, क्योंकि कोई भी मतलब कम से कम इसके अंदर इंस्ट्रूमेंट मिलते हैं। केवल चार्ट, ग्लोब, मैप, इनको टांगने से ही केवल सोशल साइंस नहीं बनाई जा सकती। इसमें भी क्या क्या चीज चाहिए उनके ऊपर इन्होंने अपना विचार प्रकट किया। इसके अलावा इन्होंने ये भी बताया कि लाइब्रेरी द मोस्ट रिसोर्स सेंटर ऑफ लर्निंग, क्योंकि लाइब्रेरी में ही कहा जाता है कि लाइब्रेरी एक विद्यालय या महाविद्यालय या किसी भी इंस्टीट्यूशन होता है उसका हर्ट होता है। तो इन्होंने काफी अच्छा अपना विचार व्यक्त किया अपने पेपर के अंदर। तो मोहम्मद तारिक। नेक्स्ट अपने प्रेजेंटेटर थी समा परवीन। इन्होंने भी इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन एंड टीचिंग कॉम्पिटेंस पर अपना प्रकाश डाला है। इन्होंने प्रकाश डाला है कि किस प्रकार से इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन को अभी नया फ्रेम दिया गया है, क्योंकि पहले सेपरेट था स्पेशल एजुकेशन, जनरल एजुकेशन, अब इन दोनों को कंबाइन करके इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन किया गया है। तो इस प्रकार क्या होता था, बच्चों में जब किसी डिसेबिलिटीज बच्चे होते थे उनको अलग से पढ़ाया था तो उनके अंदर वैसी हीन भावना आ जाती थी और वो अच्छे से सीख नहीं पाते। उन्होंने जो गवर्नमेंट ने बेनिफिट ऑफ इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन पर भी प्रकाश डाला है। टीचिंग फॉर इंक्लूसिव क्लासरूम, किस प्रकार से टेक्निक हम अपनाएं कि इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन के लिए, उसको भी उन्होंने फोकस किया है। और किस प्रकार से टीचिंग मेथड होने चाहिए, और एवरी स्कूल में एक स्पेशल एजुकेशन का टीचर भी होना चाहिए। इस प्रकार से उन्होंने काफी अपना इफेक्टिव पेपर प्रेजेंट किया। थैंक यू समा परवीन मैडम, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir, for giving such an impactful concluding remark and wonderful session. Thank you once again. Before handing over the mic for formal vote of thanks, I would like to thank on my behalf and on behalf of Anand Vihar College for Women, I would like to thank organizing committee, advisory committee, and coordinators, and especially thank to our principal, Dr. Madhu Mishra madam, and HOD Education Department, Dr. Varsha Saraswat Madam, for giving me this opportunity. Moving ahead, I would like to invite and hand over the mic to Dr. Deepti Maheshwari, Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Rabindranath Tagore University, for formal vote of thanks. Thank you to all. Thank you to all. Stay safe and take care. Deepti Maheshwari ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon to all dignitaries, Dr. Parashuram Dhakar sir, Dean Academics and Director, School of Education, Sabarmati University, Ahmedabad, and all organizers of this program, and all participants and all presenters. It's again my privilege to ask vote of thanks in this 2 days international web conference on the topic paradigm shift in pedagogical implementation in higher education institution, organized by Faculty of Education, Commerce and IQAC, Rabindranath Tagore University, in association with Anand Vihar College, Bhopal. I, Dr. Deepti Maheshwari, Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Rabindranath Tagore University. First of all, I am heartfelt thankful to Honorable BC Sir for his blessings, presence, guidance and support for organizing this type of conferences. And also I am thankful to respected principal ma'am for Dr. Madhu Mishra ma'am for their blessings and presence. I extended my gratitude to our first keynote speaker, Dr. Parashuram Dhakar sir, for sharing his views and provide insights on this topic and making this program successfully. I am also thankful to all program organizers, all presenters, and all dear participants, because if they are not present today, so this program cannot be successful without the presenter and participants. So I am heartfelt thank to all my team, Dr. Kiran Mishra ma'am, Dr. Rekha Gupta ma'am, and Varsha ma'am, to take this initiate on this topic to organize this 2 days web international conference. And at last, I want to say one thing. If जैसे आप सब आप हमारे साथ में today you all are connected with us, same in a second day, please, this is my humble request. Tomorrow again 2 speakers with us. They both all will you give very good insights about in this topic. So please connect tomorrow also. Thank you to all of you. Thank you.